I'm 46, never been married, no kids. Let's talk about it. People probably wonder about that. Inquiring minds want to know about that. I think it could be a good video. I just thought this might be a good topic, so I just want to talk about my point of view, the reason why. I've been with a bunch of women. I've had a few long-lasting relationships. I wasn't that good at relationships. I wasn't good. I'm still not that good at relationships, and I'm not social. I'm not a social butterfly. I'm not equipped with that character trait. I'm not as social as some people. I'm not keen on that. I'm not looking for that, bro. For real, I'm not really out. I don't know. I mean, I enjoy the company of certain people, but you just mesh good with certain people. So I try to keep my circle small with just the people that I feel, I connect better with. There's certain people that you can connect with. It's just the people that I connect with good and talk with and get along with are harder to find or harder to connect with, I think, because I'm so different and they're so different that we're just on two sides of the spectrum. We often in the fringe of society, we're not sticking out. We're kind of blending in. We're kind of rare. We don't. So it's hard to find them. It's hard to figure out where they are. I'm looking for an introvert or a kind of how would you describe them? A more intellectual, logical, person with let's see, quirky, funny, sarcastic, maybe type of person. So and I was a lot different. I made a lot of mistakes too. So granted, I did have a couple good relations. I mean, a couple long-lasting relationships, but I ended up on drugs, and that kind of messed things up for a long time. It took away a lot. It takes everything away. So if you're on drugs, get off drugs. You won't really have a life until you do. And so I think people romanticized it, and so I kind of was a sucker for falling for that belief that life could be good on drugs. But now I realize that I was just ignorant. I was kind of immature and ignorant, naive about the world, about what I really wanted, how to get it. So for so long, bro, it's just chased after drugs, and I didn't realize it was a thing. It's that bad a thing, because you're just around so many people doing it that it becomes rationalized, and you'll rationalize it until it sounds good. You'll be like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm not that bad a person. But nothing good ever happened on it. So don't go down that road. If you got a choice, get off and go do whatever you gotta do. But do whatever you gotta do to stay away and escape that road, because I'm stuck on that road for a long time. And so I did have a couple relationships, and I was using drugs a little bit for a couple years at a time, and I was trying to do drugs and have a relationship and trying to do all this. And it all fell apart because I wasn't doing things the right way, I wasn't honest. I wasn't trying to become better. I was just stagnant. And so those relationships turned out bad, and I got hated on for it. And granted, I was a bad person at the time. I wasn't great. I wasn't that bad, but I wasn't getting better. I wasn't becoming a good person. I wasn't moving up. I wasn't growing. So I became bitter and resentful because I wasn't doing anything with my life. And if you ain't doing anything good with your life and you're just stagnant, you'll become bitter. You'll start becoming angry with people. And so I had a few relationships. I had a bunch of little flings with women. Random sexual encounters with a lot of different women. And that didn't go that far, I'd have seen a girl a couple times and had sex, and that was it. I did that with a lot of women, so it was fun and all, but it's like, looking back, it was like, well, what was the point, just to have sex with random women. But I liked being with women. I liked being with the woman, having sex with a woman. I just think if I would have been sober, I could have probably found a woman to be with. I think the women I got with too were bad for me too. I made some bad decisions on. When you're on drugs, you don't realize how bad this person is for you. They might be on drugs, you might be on drugs, so they could be bad. But gauge the type of person you're with. Try to find somebody that you have chemistry with. That's a big thing. Have compatibility, that's what I look for now. Compatibility. It's important. I think a lot of men look for that, and they should. A lot of men don't know how to look for that. They're ignorant because your personality goes good with certain people, certain personalities. You notice how you get along better with certain people. So that's a big thing. Make sure you gauge that when you get into relationships with people. I think it's natural. I think people do it naturally. They'll gravitate to certain people. But make sure when you meet women that she could be the one, or for sure that you're gonna get along, because some people you won't mess with good. You'll be like oil and water. You won't be happy. You won't be connecting on another level. And some people you can have a synergy. You can have these sparks that fly. And it just keeps going. It just fuels the relationship, and it makes it better. So I had a bunch of flings. I had a bunch of little one night stands, and a couple long relationships, but I got clean. I've been clean for 10 years, and I didn't find that many women to be with after I got clean, because they say, after you get clean, you're supposed to wait a year to get with somebody. And I don't know, I was just naturally introverted, and when you get sober, the drug thing, it's a what do they call it? They call it a inhibit. It gives you inhibitions. It takes away your inhibitions, and you move more freely. So I think that helped me hook up with women that I shouldn't have been with, but when you get sober, you kind of gauge your relationships more, and you're kind of afraid to get in relationships. That you've been in some bad relationships too, so there was that factor. After getting clean, I didn't want to jump into relationships anymore. I didn't want to jump into relationships with people unless I knew that I want to be with them for a while. I didn't want to just have sex either. It wasn't doing it for me. But I did have sex with random women after getting sober. I would get every once in a while I would sleep with the woman just to change things up, but it's harder to be with somebody. I think I was messed up. Like, even after drugs, after you get clean, you're still not right. It takes a while. Mentally, I'm kind of struggled with a few things. Struggled with connecting and becoming more outgoing to meet women, to go to social places to meet women. I don't want to do that. I'm older and I got sober, and I was like, you're in a place where I was in a place in life where I didn't have much either. Kind of lost everything. So I just worked on me. And try to get the life that I need to get the woman, because I've had women like present themselves, I think, to me, and I could have got with them, but it's like so picky, bro. So picky. I'm looking for something to jump out at me, and there's a few women I kind of regret passing up on. I moved around a lot, and I can't really go back and try to get with them, because there's women out there like that. They've been single for years too. They're looking for somebody, and they need somebody. And I think I've met a couple women like that I probably should have hooked up with, and I didn't realize it because it was just like random women. I didn't try to ask out. I probably should have tried to approach and ask out more. But for some reason, I would just rationalize not being with him, not being with the woman, when I should have probably tried to be with a few more women. Because I think you're not going to find the perfect woman, but you can find a good woman, and that's kind of important for your mental health, maybe your physical health. If you can find a decent woman that you kind of is attractive, or you find attractive, and you can get along with, then you should try to be with her, brother, because even if it doesn't work out, at least you tried, And so there's a few women like that I've met, and I've been trying to connect with more women now, but it's hit and miss, bro. Women are, you're so different. It seems like I'm so far on another side of the spectrum. Like, I don't connect with women good, or I can't connect with women good, like, because we're so different, where their status is different. They could be making tons of money and I'm down here, or they're just different personality types, and they have different interests, or they have different hobbies, and they live totally different lives. And so I think that's a big factor too. Factor in what kind of people they are. But so your status is important as a man. That can hold you back too. And so I've been struggling. So I'm not gonna get lucky with women. They want you to have everything. They want you to have everything and be the man, be the the breadwinner, and all this. But not all women are like that. There's a few women that might give you play. So I've been getting a little little more play through the dating apps and through approaching women, trying to approach women more, just to see what's possible, because I haven't been approaching women for a long time. I didn't approach women and I didn't think about it. I kind of blew it off, but I'm trying to approach women because I think, like, subconsciously I'm angry about it, like not being with the woman. I'm like, I feel like this anger about it, like it's hard to explain. It's hard to know what you really want, but if you can sit and think about it for a while, you'll see like what's important. I think, like, so it's important, I think, to be with the woman. And people look at me crazy because I'm not with the woman. They're gonna shame you and shun you and all this stuff, but try to make you look weird because you're not with the woman and you're not approaching women and you're not doing this. But currently struggling. I don't have any money and I'm struggling bad. So if it's like I'm in a bad spot, and that could be an excuse. Women could be rejecting me because of that, but I think it's possible to still hook up with the women when you're going through a bad time, because some women might help you. Some women might accept you for who you are and see your potential, as long as you have a potential and you're kind of good for them, maybe. And so I've been trying to test that boundary. Like, if can you really hook up with the woman when you're struggling and you're down and you're going through something? Because I've had money and I was just working so much I couldn't see women, bro. Working, and I didn't really meet women that good, But I think I still could have met women. It's just harder. So I'm trying to meet more women, even the women that I don't think are that compatible, that don't look that compatible. I'm trying to meet up with, just to get to know and try to meet and just do an effort, because you never know. Some of the women that I'm not as attracted to, and I'm gonna try to meet up and talk to them and get to know them and stuff, because they might be able to help me, I might be able to have somebody to talk to. But it's important, I think, to have a woman have an intimate relationship and a physical relationship. It's very important, I think. I think it helps regulate your nervous system and your the oxytocin, when you have sexual relations with women or encounters. But you get that, there's there's a weird feeling that you get, your hormones and there's a biological thing that happens. And I didn't realize how important it was. For a long time I kind of, and guys, some guys, they'll chase women all day because of, I don't know, they get that rush. They're getting that rush. Maybe I wasn't getting that rush as much as some guys. They're like dogs in heat. They're chasing after it all day long. But it's like, that's a cope too. It's like it's a toxic way of being, to always chase after something. I like attracting things, but I don't know. My social skills are lacking, and I haven't been with a woman like that in a long time. I haven't, got that. I think there's like a biological thing that you need to have, bro, that will help you by being in a relationship, a loving relationship. You can see how some guys have more of a peace of mind too, So I think it does something for you mentally. There's just like this mental shift, and there's like this focus you might get from it, and there's like this different way of being. But I'm trying to connect with women now more. I'm trying to connect with women because as a man you should be with the woman. I think there's the masculine and the feminine, the divine feminine and the masculine. What do they call it? There's a certain term they got for it, but those go together, bro. It's something that always flows through our society. There's the masculine, feminine flowing through women. Even women, and with women, and when there's two women in a relationship, there's a masculine, a feminine, because there's, the dyke and or the butch woman, there's the butch woman and the bossy woman and the subservient woman or the submissive woman. So in sex too, they have that, like it's the dominant and the submissive, and it's the masculine, the feminine energies. They're flowing. So I don't think I've experienced that a lot, and I think I'm more dominant. I don't want to be submissive. It's a women's trait, it's a feminine trait to be submissive to the man. And so I think that my idea of that wasn't really good. I didn't really think about how important it was. But it's super important to practice and be in that how would you say, to be in that energy, to be in that play, to be in that role. As a man, you need to be in the dominant role. You need to have a submissive person to you. Somebody submits to you, makes you feel better, makes you feel like a man. And so I don't think my dad wasn't around, and I didn't really have good role models. I didn't really see that too much. I seen dominant roles and by people. I just thought they were crazy, but I didn't understand the dominant and the submissive roles in relationships and the dynamic of communication dynamic of the masculine feminine. So it gets real deep, and so I'm trying to interact with it more. I want to be a part of the masculine feminine energy thing. I want to be with an attractive woman that I enjoy being around. I want to be with somebody I like. You gotta go after what you want, go after what you like. I'm attracted to women, and I love certain women, and I think I've been denying my wants, my wishes with women, with certain hot women. I've been scared to approach them. But if you don't go after what you want, you'll become even more bitter. If you don't be honest, if you don't try to get it, I think it becomes, something you bottle up. So you have to approach the women that you want, because they're like a trophy. They're like an achievement. And to feel good about yourself, you have to achieve. And as a man, you have to win. You have to get your goals. You have to achieve. You have to gain that sense of satisfaction from getting something out of life. We go after things in life. A man has to achieve goals. A man has to win things, or he doesn't feel good. We live in a competitive world, and so we compete for women, and women want us to compete. They want us to approach. They love that. They love seeing a man go after what he wants. They won't say it. It's something that's like another thing, like a hidden message that you need to decode. Go after what you want and what you like and what you find attractive, and let them know that. Let these women know that, because they respect that. They'll only respect you as a man if you're really going after what you really want and you're being kind of honest about it. So they'll see you too. That's what finds them that's what makes them attracted to you, is when you're going after what you want, you're doing your thing, you're on your point, you're on your game, you're doing your thing, and you're going after goals, and you're starting to level up. They respect you for that. They can see that. Women have intuition like you wouldn't believe. They have some great intuition about seeing what people are going through and understanding what people are doing, trying to do. And they'll submit to you if you just approach them and let them know. So this video's going on for a while, but it's such an interesting topic. It's such an interesting topic. I might do another video about it because I'm starting to get more into it recently, and I might want to talk more about it later. But that's probably going to be it for this video. This video's going on for a while. It was really it was about me being single, but you know, your love life has a lot to do with it too. And your interaction and your confidence and the way you approach women and talk to women and people. So I was lacking with that for a long time, social skills and all that. I didn't have anybody to show me the way, but it's interesting how that works. But all right, I'll see you in the next one.